Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 2nd, 2022, and most people are unprepared for what is to come next in Bitcoin, in the cryptocurrency markets. We are historically oversold. Not just a bit oversold, historically oversold, okay? And I can't really explain other than through the technicals just how unprepared most people are, myself included. Not that I'm unprepared in the sense that my investments, my positions are not ready. My positions are all ready. It's just I can't wrap my mind around what we're likely to see. Okay, we're going to get into that today. If that interests you, then keep listening. Hopefully, you're having a great day. It's Friday here in the DC area. It's a bit overcast. It's not bad. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. Great. We'll take it. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Let's start with this chart, which is my master chart of Bitcoin. Okay, it's an index chart on the weekly time frame, and you can see a bunch of annotations. This is clearly my work, my Elliott wave count on the cycle waves of Bitcoin since the beginning of its inception, right? In 2010, 11. So once again, I have us in minor wave 2 moving into minor wave 3, okay? And my conservative targets for minor wave 3 are here around 2 million, okay? Around 2 million, right? We could go as high as maybe 4 million, 4.5 million, something like that, right? With a throw over of this channel. But that's basically my quick and dirty analysis on the high time frame. Very few people do high time frame analysis. Very few people know how to do analysis, period. But high time frame analysis of these assets. Most people are trading intraday. Most people are trading small time frames. But the Elliott wave analysis of Bitcoin's price action, given that this is a very, very clear impulse to the upside, and this is a very clear flat correction, and if these two go together, that's a wave 1, that's a wave 2, and it's very likely that these two go together. Why? Because waves of the same degree are comparable in time and in price, and if you take the time it took to go up in 5 waves for that impulse, you get about 385 days, right? Remember, this is it's approximative just because we are on the weekly time frame, okay? And then you come down and you do the same thing for the 3-wave impulse, the 3-wave correction. There we go. The ABC correction, and I'm not counting the sideways price action, the accumulation of that supply, okay? I'm just looking at just this ABC flat correction. That's about 420 days. Again, this is approximative just because we're on such high time frames. So it's relatively speaking comparable. We're at 400 days up, 400 days down for Bitcoin there. And you can do this with other assets, and you're also going to see some symmetry in terms of the time it took to go up in 5 waves and to come back down in 3. Okay, why do I say that? And you've probably heard this if you watch my work, if you follow my work. This is important as a precursor to understand why I would take the Fibonacci extension of this wave and the retracement of that wave, okay? Essentially what I'm doing here is I'm projecting a wave 3, okay? A wave 3 projection is very simply wave 1, retracement of wave 2, projecting wave 3 to between the 1618 and the 2 Fibonacci extension, and that's exactly where we get that 1.5 to 4.4 million dollar Bitcoin projection. Okay, and that falls right. Let me not erase that. As you can see quite clearly, that falls within these targets. Sorry. These targets right here, yeah, of 1618 to 2 Fibonacci extension. That's exactly where you can expect wave 3 to fall by and large. Okay, balance of probability, that's exactly where you're getting wave 3, right? Obviously, you can get a truncated wave 3 targeting the 1 Fibonacci extension. You can get an extended wave 3 targeting way above the 2 Fibonacci extension. But by and large, more often than not, this is exactly where wave 3 ends, okay? And that's exactly where wave 3 ends using our channel analysis, okay? So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if this is true, if there's any accuracy to this, then we're expecting Bitcoin to hit these levels within just a matter of months, okay? Again, when you're doing Elliott wave theory, Elliott wave analysis, understand you're not just projecting price, but you're also projecting time. It's not an exact science, just like the price projections are not exact science. But we have tools to be able to say with a certain degree of confidence, right? A high degree of probability that wave 1 is typically going to be comparable in price and time to wave 2. Usually they're the same. The same thing could be said for these time predictions or time projections. If you use something like a trend-based Fibonacci time, you can take wave 1, okay, from the bottom to the top, retracement of wave 2. I'm going to take the orthodox low of wave 2. And look at that. The 618 time, I don't know what you would call that, time retracement, maybe a time retracement. The 618 is exactly, almost exactly where this wave 3 ends. Okay, and this wave 3 would give us a top, basically the top of this channel, right? It's essentially just a channel. You're going up and down, and some of you are saying, yeah, Dean, but this channel that you speak of has been disrespected here. This is called a throw under. We have throw unders and throw overs. So if you study Elliott wave theory, you'll know that this is actually a normal thing. Sometimes you'll get a wick below the support of the channel, a wick above the support or the resistance of the channel. That is normal. Okay? So that throw under is where we're at right now. But if we go here, it's likely that we do that in just a matter of months. Okay? I have a projection on the smaller time frames of February 19th, 2023. Okay, how do I get that? I basically did the same analysis but on a smaller time frame so I could be more accurate. Okay, let me make sure I'm unmuted. Yeah, I'm unmuted. Okay, so I did that, and thinking about that, let's say there's any truth to this. Okay, that means we're in December, January, February. We have 3-4 months, let's say. 3 to 4 months, and that's it. So in 3 to 4 months, we could expect, if this is true, if there's any bit of truth to this technical analysis, in 3 to 4 months, we could expect a 10,000+% increase in just Bitcoin's price. 10,000%, okay? 10,000%. Okay, that's not even considering what altcoins will do, which by and large are likely to outperform Bitcoin. Okay, so if you get 10,000, and some people are probably stopping in there, trying to turn the video off at this point and saying, oh, that's bullshit. Well, This is why you study the charts. You don't take anybody's word for it. You don't just say stuff, but all of this is based in experience. It's based in what we've seen before, right? Obviously, the Elliott wave stuff and technical analysis, it's based off of the experience of other traders that have developed these tools, these this analytical framework that I've studied, okay, that I'm applying, okay? But in addition, you can just back test that. 10,000%, that seems unfathomable. Well, my friend, what do you think happened in wave one, in this intermediate wave one, this green wave right here, okay? Between August 2015 and November 2017, you got Bitcoin doing about a... Sorry. Doing about a... Sorry. I'm trying to get this to stick. It's about a 7,000% increase, okay? It's not a 10,000%, and it was during the course of a little longer, okay? It wasn't 3 months. This was more like... almost 900 days, okay? So that was almost 3 years. A little less than 3 years, okay? About two years. A little, like 2.5 years. 2.5 years, okay? But come back a little further to October of 2011. Between October 2011 and November of 2013, once again, you get a massive move in the Bitcoin price, and that took you $64,275%. Okay? Again, this is much longer than 3 months, but it's, again, much higher in terms of the upside, okay? Almost 60,000% in less than 2 years. Or about 2 years. Say about 2 years. Okay? So just think about it. It is possible if you think in terms, if you think linearly. None of this is linear, by the way. If you're thinking linearly, then you're basically setting yourself up for confusion. If you're thinking, well, Dean, by that logic, if it took 2.5 years to get 7,000%, then there's no way we can do 10,000% in 3 months. And then you could say, well, maybe because you just told me that we went up 60,000 or 67,000% in 2 years. Okay, so if I take that 67,000% and I divide that by 12, that gives me something like, hold up, let me just do this. I know this is not how it works. I'm just giving you an example as to why you shouldn't think linearly about these things. Okay, 60,000% over 24, that's 2,791, right? So monthly we moved about, 227, 28x. So that would be like, if you go times 3, that would be almost 8,500%, okay? 8.5, because I'm saying 10x, right? Bitcoin can 10x, 10,000% in 3 months, or it's likely to 10x in 3 months. That's what the charts are showing us. And if you wanted to be linear about all of this, you would say, well, okay, judging by what happened between 2011 and 2013, we could definitely do that. It would be even more than what we did between 2011 and 2013, because that would only yield an 83, Did I say 10x? I meant 10,000%. That's 100x, dude. 83x, 84x. Okay, I'm confusing myself. Anyway, this is not linear. My point in saying all of this is that it's parabolic. This is why we talk about parabolic growth. This is why markets go crazy. This is why people get so confused as to how these prices can go where they go and in the time span that they're going there. It's not linear. This is why you have to put your chart on the log scale. Anybody who's showing you high time frame analysis of, crypto or stocks or whatever, and they're not using the log scale, run away. They don't know what they're doing. There are people that take people's money for technical analysis and consultation, or what do they call it? Yeah, consulting. And they don't know when or how to use a log chart. None of this is linear. On the small time frames, go ahead and use your arithmetic chart. On the high time frames, you need to use your logarithmic chart, especially for these crypto assets, because that's how they grow, logarithmically. Okay, so I'm saying that yes, Bitcoin can 100x in the next 3 months. Okay, I said 10x. I'm sorry, 100x. 10,000% is 100x. Okay, this is what the charts are showing me. Okay, and so if that's true, if there's any truth to that, we will literally have the craziest bull run we've ever had, period, bar none, just as I've showed you. We haven't had that kind of growth maybe since Bitcoin's inception in 2010, from 2010 to 2011, because in between 2010 and 2011, yeah, we experienced, and this is where, the early Bitcoin royalty was minted. You got something like a 200-300x in the span of less than a year. Okay, so it's possible. It is possible, and the charts are showing me it's probable. And so why I'm saying I'm not even prepared. I'm doing this analysis. I'm in all of these long positions. I've been in long positions for the past 600 days. I'm not even prepared for what's to come next, because I literally haven't seen price action move like that. This is what I'm saying. I understand theoretically, but I haven't had the experience. I was not around in crypto in 2010, 2011. I wasn't around. So I don't even, it's so foreign to me, the price moving that crazy. Okay, I was around in 2020. I was around in 2017. But that wasn't this. What we're about to experience is something like most people in crypto have never experienced. This is why I'm saying most people are unprepared, myself included. All right. Now, obviously, when we're doing analysis and we're making such bold claims, we need to, as usual, support it with evidence. Okay. You're not going to find that kind of evidence on the small time frame. Small time frame, you can probably say, yeah, it looks like, we're likely to make a move up. That's neither here nor there, right? That's good and well, but these small time frames aren't going to explain how Bitcoin can 100x in the next 3 to 4 months. That's not going to do it. What we need to look at is this, the precursor, the DXY, the US dollar currency index. If you were with me yesterday during the live stream, you sat and worked through this count, this Elliott wave count with me, okay? We saw how this is a high probability count for why it's likely that the DXY is in impulse, and it has been in impulse, okay? A lot of Elliotticians, they'll give you 50 different counts. It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. This is an invalidation for this. It's confusion. You can tell they're confused. If they're not confused, why would they have so many different counts? Obviously, everything's possible. Not everything is probable. As an Elliottician, as a technician of the charts, your job is to find the most probable outcome. trade that. That's it. That's all. The most probable outcome. You know, sometimes there's 2 different, 3 different, highly probable. It's rare. If you know what you're doing, there are not a million different possibilities for a basic analysis. Obviously, when you get into the weeds, really small time frames, how to get from A to B, there's millions of different ways to skin a cat. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the fundamental analysis of how you get first, is it going up? Is it going down? Is it impulse? Is it in correction? Is it in consolidation? Like stuff like that, okay? This looks very likely that we just left this wave 4. We're now in this extended wave 5. Why an extended wave 5? Very simply, because you can see this massive head and shoulders, which is a bearish construction. And what did we do yesterday? Very importantly, what did we do yesterday? You can see this daily candle. Yesterday's daily candle. You went up, you tested the resistance, and you hit, you rejected from that. That is huge. You just tested a massive resistance, okay? This resistance that we're discussing right here, the bottom of this head and shoulders, is 1,000 days, or sorry. It's 156 days. It's 156 days, okay? It's a big resistance. It's a long-standing resistance. And you literally just went up and said, oh, is this resistance? Yes, confirmed, and then rejected, okay? So if this does play out, the US dollar currency index is going to shoot down all the way down here to our targets of 96. That's the technical target for the breakdown of this massive head and shoulders with a base that lasts 156 days. Do you see that? Right there. That's the technical target. That's our extended wave 5. That's what we're saying, an extended wave 5. Here we're mirroring both pattern analysis and Elliott wave theory, okay? You go on the smaller time frame, you'll see the rejection that I'm talking about. Look at that. Do you see that right there? It's a big deal. That's a big fucking deal, okay? That is a huge deal. When's the last time you've seen the US dollar currency index put such massive downside in, okay? Look, these are monthly candles. I'm on a monthly chart. This is essentially a rejection of the dollar, the US dollar, from the highs that it hasn't put in since 2002. The dollar reached highs it had not reached since 2002, okay? At least on this chart, okay? So the dollar went down in 2001 and has been going up ever since. This is a massive, massive deal. The dollar's going down here in ways that we hadn't experienced since before Bitcoin was created. So I'm trying to get you to understand why and how fundamentally you can have such a massive move that you can't even wrap your head around, okay? 100x of Bitcoin in 3 months. Like, what the hell? Yes. That's why that's possible. And a lot of people who really don't know much about what they're talking about, they'll tell you this. A lot of analysts out there, big accounts, they'll say, Bitcoin's not going up until and unless the Fed starts printing money again. Because that is the only time you can see these cryptocurrencies going up in value, when there's massive inflation. Okay, and the last time we saw a bull market in our short lives, in a short sort of experience in this space, was when there was money printing. Ergo, the only thing that can make the prices go up in the ways we saw is money printing, and that's probably not going to happen for a while. So you're probably not going to see a bull market for, I don't know, a few years, or at least a few months. Okay, but here we have the DXY, and we have data, actual data, showing the price of Bitcoin against the price of the US dollar currency index. And about for 8 years, I have that chart that I always show you on this channel. I'm not going to show you again. You can pull it up yourself. You can do your own research. It's basically on a high time frame, a mirror image of one another. The Bitcoin chart and the US dollar currency index chart, meaning they're inversely correlated. Okay, if the US dollar currency index goes up, Bitcoin goes down. If the US dollar currency index goes down, Bitcoin goes up. That's it. It's that simple. That's on a monthly time frame, mind you. Okay, on a monthly time frame. So there's something to be said for the DXY going down and Bitcoin going up. Why the DXY goes down? There's a lot of reasons. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not an economist. I don't pretend to be. I'm just a trader. I'm a technician of the charts. So all I know is that the DXY going down is the precursor, and it is the main cause, from my understanding, for crypto prices, Bitcoin included, going up. And this is projected to come down in a major way. Okay? Another point I want to make. Do you know how oversold Bitcoin and crypto is right now? And I made this point yesterday. Look at these candles. This is a monthly candle. Every candle equals a month of trading action, price action, okay? These are 1, 2, 3 consecutive red candles. 3 successive red candles. That means price went lower for 3 months, okay? In succession. If you look at the price of Bitcoin on the monthly chart, okay? Let's go on the monthly chart. You'll see we haven't put... So for 3 months, the past 3 months, we've been red as well. So I know this candle is green, but it's not a strong green candle. Essentially, we've been red for the past 3 months. Okay? Meaning, Bitcoin is oversold. It is literally not... It has to snap back into a sort of balance. It is if you looked at a mean or a kind of a balance, Bitcoin is out of balance because it's not following the DXY as it has for 8 years. What does that mean? That means that the next candle is more than likely going to correct that. Maybe this candle, this monthly candle, is going to correct that and bring it back on track so that Bitcoin and the US dollar currency index can once again be mirror images of one another. US dollar currency index going down, Bitcoin going up. Don't be surprised if that first candle goes straight up. And I've said this before on the channel. My first significant resistance for Bitcoin's price, my first significant resistance, and you can see this on a smaller time frame. Yeah, you can see this on a smaller time frame. First significant resistance. Actually, we can show it here. Let's try and show it here. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, here we go. I can show you here. Okay. So my first significant resistance for Bitcoin's price is going to be the middle of this the middle of this channel, okay? We all know channel analysis, really simple, straightforward. The bottom is support, the top's resistance, the middle is resistance when you're above it, support when you're resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it, okay? So we're below, so this is going to be resistance. So if we come here, right now, that is at 46K, okay? It's around 46K to 48K. So let's just say 46 to 48K. I say that is the first place where I would expect a little bit of resistance. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden we just go up there. Okay? That's the kind of price action you would expect, right? It's hard to wrap your mind around. It's hard to wrap my mind around. What would those candles look like? How would that price action look? Is it going to pump throughout the night? Or is it just going to pump and then hold? Pump and then hold. How is it going to... I don't know. I literally can't wrap my mind around it. But you know, one thing I've learned is to trust my analysis. I've been doing this for years. It's proven to me that it's been useful. It's proven to me reliable for years on many different time frames. So all of a sudden, now that I go on the monthly time frame, I'm not just going to discount it because it's too good to be true. No. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. My analysis is my analysis. And it's proven to me time and time again to be consistent when I see enough signs for a read or a sort of a read on a chart to be highly probable. And it's been my read for, I don't know, for months I've had this, okay? Then I guess that's likely to happen. I don't know how, but it's likely based off of my read. So this is what I'm saying. I would not be surprised if we just went up and didn't stop until we hit 46 or 48K. And then did something and then kept going and kept going, kept going. The next major resistance I see after that, the top of this channel, which actually, look at this. Look at this. I'm going to change the color for this. I'm going to get to the questions. I see some questions. I'm going to get to some questions in a second. Hold off, please. Okay, let's just make this orange for now. Just so you can see what I'm saying, because I've got double channels. Look at this. Let's say we hit 46 to 48, okay? And that is our first, significant resistance. Cool. And then we keep going. What's our next significant resistance? According to this orange channel, this new one that I just drew up, it's about 150K, okay? And what is it confluent with? It's 150K here. It's if we did it in January, it'd be about 130K, about 130K, 150K, okay? What else is it confluent with? This parabola. Do you see this parabola? This dotted parabola that's pretty much followed every peak in price since Bitcoin's inception in 2010. Do you see that? It's not an accident. Again, I always say this on the channel. It doesn't matter what style of analysis you espouse or you choose to use. If it's sound, you can use a completely different system. If that system is sound and your analysis is also sound, you will arrive at the same results. What are we getting here? Before I ever put this in, I had this line, and again, this is just another way of using support and resistance. I connected tops, okay? That there's clearly a resistance there, even though it's not straight or diagonal, it's parabolic, okay? So again, this is kind of like math. Sometimes you're not dealing with arithmetic and straight lines, right? Sometimes you're dealing with parabolas and curved lines. And in this case, that resistance, if it happened next month, would be around the same area where the top of my channel was. Again, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. First we go to 48K, we consolidate a bit. Then next target is 130K, consolidate a bit, and then we really fly. Because after that, you not only break this 12-year resistance, right? It's literally, you're breaking a 12-year resistance for Bitcoin, right? Do you understand? Like, you've been in this parabola under this resistance for 12 years. You've never broken it. Bitcoin would reach new levels. It's like it's finally free to fly. And the next target after that would be the top of the channel. Do you see? Close to our target, the end of the bull run. Anyway, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to do this for clicks. I'm not trying to just say stuff to shock. I'm dead serious, and I am not. If it happens, I won't be surprised. That's why I made the video. All right. Let's see. There's a bunch of questions. Mark Pelleras says, crypto could get a small rally for the month. I'm waiting to get long, but I'm patient, looking for an entry today. Yeah, I understand, Mark. I understand. I can't believe it either, and it's frankly nothing I've experienced. So it's like, we typically, as human beings, I think it's normal. We don't know what we don't know. So even if, like, a theoretical physicist derives, by way of, physics principles or whatever, some theorem, a conclusion that breaks their reality, it's hard to believe, even though, it's the math is there and the theory just states it plainly. It's hard to believe. You're more inclined to believe that you're going to do what you've done before because you know that and you've experienced that. So it's like, I guess it's going to be more of the same, right? So, kind of in response to Mark's comment, most people, that's why I titled the video the way I titled it. Most people are expecting exactly the same type of price action we've had for the past 600 days. What is it? Look, this ABC flat correction has lasted, 457 days, and then add to that the AB basing, that's 640 days. Yeah. So for 640 days, if you've been in crypto, you're not expecting much. If anything, you're expecting more of the same. And if you do go up, very few people think that you're going to break this. Why would you? Right? If you don't understand price action, right? And this is why it's very important to have a sound foundation in technical analysis, not just some random fucking, playing with charts. Like, people are quite arrogant to just open charts, not study anybody or anything, any theorems that came before, and just try and make things up. I mean, it's good. Sometimes, you need to innovate, but usually when we innovate on the backs or on the shoulders of those that came before us, right? So Ralph Nelson Elliott talked about A/B basing in The Secret of the Universe, right? In his manuscript. And so I took it and I ran with it and I studied it and I developed it and I came up with 2 degrees of A/B basing and a pivot. Okay? It is original work. It is, I could do a PhD on it if I cared enough to, right? It's original work that I did with my own research and a lot of backtesting, but I didn't make up the theorem, nor did I make up AB or Elliott wave theory, right? I studied Elliott wave theory and I practiced it for tens of thousands of hours, but I didn't make it up. But I refined it and I understood it in a way that makes me a practitioner, a high-level practitioner of it. Do you see what I mean? But I did not make it up. A lot of people calling themselves analysts have no base in any kind of established theoretical system. It's not Gann, it's not Wyckoff, it's not Elliott, it's nothing. And they're just making shit up based off of maybe they got into the market here. So they have 1,000 days of experience and they think that that makes them experts. But in the scheme of things, 1,000 days of experience, that's not an expert, because if you think this is the extent of the market, that's just a small part of it, you see. There's so much more going on. Just because you didn't experience it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Anyway, I can go on and on about this. Let's keep going down the comments. Amazing Videos of the World says, hey, Amazing Videos of the World. Akanksha says, hello, Akanksha. Amazing Videos of the World wants MFT analysis. Akanksha says, rally up to 45k till summer 2023. Your thoughts? No. Akanksha, if you rewind, you'll see that there is a time, in Elliott wave theory, time nor is price. Okay, I'll say this. Practicing Elliott wave theory, the most accurate price projection that I've gotten consistently is that wave 3 projection on the 1618. Sometimes it's to the penny. You take wave 1, retracement of wave 2, wave 3 is to the penny sometimes on that phi ratio, that 1618. Okay, that's as close to like a perfect kind of projection I've gotten. Okay, so that's like the price projection accuracy. In terms of time, the closest time projection, the most accurate time projection I've gotten in Elliott wave theory is that wave 1, wave 2. Okay, wave 1 usually takes the same amount of time that wave 2 takes. Doesn't always, but typically does. And sometimes it's like to the hour, or sometimes to the minute. Like wave 1 will take 15 or 45 minutes, wave 2 will take 45 minutes, okay? But then when we're projecting wave 3, it's not as it's not as consistently accurate. But I'll say, based off of my channel analysis, based off of that Fibonacci time projection, highly doubt that we don't top by February, March, April at the latest. So when you're talking summer 2023, Akansha, I think that's a little late. And 45k is sorely undervalued. I mean, look, don't take my word for it. And this is not looking at even the technical analysis. This is looking at the on-chain analysis, okay? There are so many different indicators that you can use to corroborate my read just using technicals, right? It has nothing to do with Elliott wave, nothing to do with my technical analysis, but all of these different indicators, the pi cycle top indicator, the Rupal, the Nupal, the R hodl wave, the Peel multiple, the 2-year moving average, the Bitcoin Trello, the MVRV, the reserve risk, and the Wu Bull top cap for CVDD. You talk to Willy Woo, you'll understand that we are historically oversold in such a way we've not been pretty much ever. You can see this here. If you really want to know, you can know. All these tools are freely available. There's so much information, okay? Everything here is saying we're criminally undervalued. And just look at the sentiment. Sometimes people just look at sentiment, yeah? And they're like, oh, well, how are people talking about it in mainstream? Well, if you go and I'm just like on my phone and I'm, looking at Google showing me like, things, news articles that are relevant to me as a trader, as an enthusiast in cryptocurrency and all that stuff, you have people like, what's his name? He's like an investment guru. I forget his name. He talks about how you should save money and, pay off your debts as soon as possible, all that stuff. He's laughing. He's laughing at the crypto bros, saying, "Where are the crypto bros?" That's obviously, inaccurate because there's a lot of females in our space as well. But he's laughing. It's like, I didn't think it would come this early. This is hilarious. People like Garrett Soloway are taking a lap because Garrett Soloway said, I predicted that gold would outperform both Bitcoin and the S&P 500 in 2022. I was spot on. It's December 2nd. If what I think is gonna happen, like, it's just gonna be funny, And I don't work to dunk on people or anything like that, so I don't give a fuck. But see, people are taking laps and laughing and saying it is a scam. This is exactly the kind of sentiment that leads to, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. The universe likes irony, likes comedy. I don't know why, but it's typically in these environments when we get the most explosive moves. Okay? Okay, I answered that. Let's see. 2023. Okay, let's see. Where are we? So, Amazing Videos of the World says, love your analysis. Thanks, man. Or I think you're a guy. I'm sorry, I'm assuming. You have amazing knowledge. I mean, like I said, everything I know, I studied because other people developed it before me. Proctor and Frost wrote 13 fucking editions of the Wave Manual. Like, all credit to others that came before me. All I did was study, and I had tools. I didn't have to do what Ralph Nelson Elliott did and just start from scratch and chart the S&P or the NASDAQ on printer paper, like just crazy things that people before us had to do, right? They didn't have TradingView. Kangsha says, too good to be true, fingers crossed though. Yeah, that's exactly what you think, right? It's too good to be true. But usually, I think good analysis takes out the too good to be true or too bad to be true. You don't judge your analysis. You just do it. In my experience, my best analysis is when I don't judge it, because the second you judge it, Akansha, you're not going to take that trade because you're going to tell yourself it's too good to be true, or no, this has to go up, even though you see very clearly it's going down. You're going to sway yourself and convince yourself of either one way or another. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not judging it. I'm just saying this is what I see. Mark says the run up onto 24K in July was good. Let's see, July. Yeah. I think that was just part of our consolidation reversal channel, right? Everything that we've done for the past 160 to 200 days has been accumulating the supply that we dumped from 60K. So it's just going up and down in that channel. Young Dasa says 2023 is going to be the year for crypto. I think it will. I think it's going to be historically big. It's going to be historically huge. I think, based off of what I just showed you guys from the beginning of the video, we'll never. This is going to be the biggest bull run we've ever had. Bigger than 2017. Bigger than much bigger than 20. People think this was a bull run. Right here. Where are we? People think this was a bull run. Okay, that's what people think a bull run. Like, that was a corrective move. That's a B wave, a 3-wave move up, counter corrected this A wave. People think that was a bull run. Okay, they've not seen anything yet. And again, remember, this is a log chart. That means even though your eyes are seeing this as being like right here, if you were to take this and make it on an arithmetic scale, this would be so much higher than this. It would look something like this. Or even more. That wave 3 would be crazy. It would be much more extended just because this is a log scale. Okay? logarithmic scale. Anyway, let's keep going down. Mark says, I see 18K, then maybe 21K is my top for any Santa rally. A lot of people think that, Mark, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, hopefully, if I'm right, you don't shoot yourself in the foot and sell too soon. One. Two, you're actually positioned long. Okay? Even if, so that's the beauty of not knowing. You don't have to know to be successful. Sometimes you just don't know, because based off of your experience, based off of your skills, based off of your analysis, based off of your beliefs, you have an idea. You think, it's probably going long, but you have no idea. 24K may be something that we not only hit but passed today, right? But hopefully, what I think the best analysts say, well, I don't know, and so I'm just going to leave the possibility for me to be wrong and actually benefit from being wrong. You know what I mean? So hopefully you don't have sell orders at 24K, even though you think 24K is a top for a quote unquote Santa rally. As a lot of people, who think that Bitcoin basically follows traditional stock markets. And for those people, if this recent price action doesn't disprove that, I don't know what does. The S&P 500, I'm not even going to bother looking at it. You can look at it for yourself. For the past 3 months, as I showed you, the US dollar currency index has been going down. For the past 3 months, the S&P 500 and most traditional stocks have been going up. Okay? Yet, Bitcoin and most stocks, or cryptos rather, have been stagnant. What does that tell you? It's not... Bitcoin and crypto are not following the lead of traditional stocks. They never have. Somebody show me a chart with Bitcoin or crypto following the traditional stocks. Then I'll shut up. It's not about that. It's the DXY. And I have a chart to show you that, right? Again, do your own research. People say all kinds of things online, and it's fine, right? That's the beauty of free speech. That's the beauty of, the modern day. Myself, who knows? You don't know my bona fides. I could just be talking out of my ass. But I have a microphone. I can post to YouTube just as you can. I like that. But it's that makes it your duty, your responsibility to not just vet the person, but vet what they're saying by doing your own research. That's the beauty of doing your own research. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you do with what I say. Yeah? Young Dasa says, and privacy, which is Zcash, is truly a private coin. Yeah, that's, I think privacy is going to be a big deal. Zcash is one of the few, I think it's one of the few assets, privacy coins that's actually traded. Like Monero is traded, obviously, but it's not openly traded like on American exchanges. But I think Zcash is. I don't know why that is. Young Dasa says, we're blasting from here. I think so. Amazing Videos of the World says, trust your logical analysis. You're always great on analysis of knowledge. I would say this to Amazing Videos of the World. You got to trust yourself. Don't trust anybody on the internet. You can use other people on the internet for inspiration. You can use them to work off of. But at the end of the day, you have to trust yourself. If I'm saying something and you act on that, I hope that you did some research to do to the best of your ability to confirm and make it so that you understand what I'm saying and it's true for you, so that it's your analysis. This is my analysis, but that you make it your analysis, you know what I mean? Young Dasa says it's only a matter of days. Bears will get wrecked. Amazing Video of the World says, I need MFT analysis. Oh, hold up, bro. Mark says, nice ascending triangle on the 15-minute. Could be going for over 17. Akanksha says, your invalidation point for this analysis. Which analysis, Akanksha? For the high time frame analysis? So let me just assume that you mean the high time frame analysis. So if you look at the high time frame analysis, my validation point would simply be a breakdown of this level. Okay? Because as I said, it's common to see a throw under in Elliott wave, right? When you channel price action, sometimes you can go like this up a channel, and it's okay. Sorry, that was messy. Let me clean that up. Sometimes you can do this, and still you can channel that faithfully. That's still a reliable channel. Here's a throw under. There's a throw over, but something like this is not a throw under. That is an invalidation. Okay, that's an invalidation. And then, this all is invalidated. And I'll give you actually more specifically an invalidation, a contra. If you look and say that this is a minor wave 1, you take your Fibonacci retracement or your Fibonacci retracement tool. The invalidation is very clear and simple. It's the phi ratio, the 0.618. So an invalidation of that would be, I always do halfway under halfway. Let me try and explain this. So if you take the level, so between 618 and 786, in my experience has shown that you can wick below, but if you wick below halfway, so 50% below, the level between two major Fibonacci levels, then you're essentially, it's not a wick anymore. You've what's the word I'm looking for? You've broken that level. I hope that makes sense. So when I first started, I was like, oh, the books say that the 618 is the limit. And so I would put my stops at the 618 to the dollar. And what would happen is, and I would trade all kinds of stuff. I would trade small time frames, large time frames. I would trade all kinds of stuff. And the price would come down, it would do its thing, and then it would go up. And I'd be like, what the fuck? That's not fair. I was right. But I learned that you can come and wick below, but you can't wick too much below. And then I learned I had a whole table. I was like charting this and researching it. I had a whole table, and basically all my research showed that if the 50% level between the two Fibonacci levels is maintained, then the higher level is maintained. I hope I'm explaining this right. Basically, if you wick any less than 50% of this level, then you still maintain the 0.618. Okay, so that would be my invalidation as a real precise answer to your question for this high time frame analysis. Okay. Mark says BTC in the 15-minute is looking like it's gonna push up. Let's take out 17.3. Mark, I agree with you, but when I look at the higher time frames, I kind of lose sight of the smaller time frames because I'm like, once my entries are made, I really don't care, and I don't know how this is going to go, but I don't know if I can wrap my mind just about how on the smaller time frames this is going to matriculate up 100x in 3 months. Like I can't even fathom it. You know what I mean? And this is another reason why I think many people who are stuck on the small time frame, there's a lot of traders, there's a lot of types of traders. There's swing traders, there's position traders, there's day traders, and some people only do one thing, right? And sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not successful. My mentor, Jack Schwager, always says that when certain people get out of their element, it's not that they've forgotten how to do analysis. It's just they're not used to it. Some people only know how to long. Some people only know how to short. Some people can do both. It's not that they don't know theoretically how to do it. It's just they're not comfortable doing it. And then their track record is, they show losses doing what they're not comfortable doing. Okay? So basically, when you're looking at the high time frame analysis, and let's say you're a short-term trader, unless you have some Bitcoin in cold storage or some other asset in cold storage that you're not trading, you're probably not going to catch this because you're so used to, you know, trading channels and, you know, longing this and shorting that. And, you know, when it starts running, there's no way to catch it. I remember even in 2020 or 2021, or was it 2017, 2018, I couldn't even get on the exchange to make a trade because the price was so volatile to the upside. You couldn't even buy. I remember that not that long ago. I think that was 2020, 2021 in that B wave. Like I would try to put in an order, a buy order, and the price was going so fast that you couldn't even make. I was trying breakout trading, right? Breakout of like triangles and stuff like that. I couldn't even catch it. By the time I put in my order, it was way above the price I wanted to buy. And sometimes the exchanges just shut down because the price would move so volatile, with so much volatility. So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people are not going to be ready. You think that, for instance, I got 5 figures, almost 6 figures in long positions. If I'm waiting too long, there's no way I'm getting all of that capital in position. It takes time. This is why people with high net worth individuals ladder in. And any trader, even if I'm trading on a day time frame, not only for risk management, but also to build my position. That's why we build positions, guys. There's no way you can realistically put $10,000 on this low liquidity asset, or even if it's a high liquidity asset. Once the price starts running, your prices are not going to be hit because they're going to be gone, right? There's not enough supply. And that's to say, who's to say that exchange that you're using is going to even let you? Because a lot of exchanges shut down. They cannot handle the activity. There's so many bots that start activating and trading, right? People have trading bots. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of people are not going to be prepared. And I won't be surprised if in the 90 days, 120 days it takes us to hit our targets, if this analysis is correct, that a lot of people miss it because they think it's going to last a lot longer. People think, oh, we had a bear market for 640 days, or what I think is a bear market for 640 days, downside and sideways, then we should go up for a good 640 days. They're going to be sorely mistaken and shocked when we only go up for 100 days, 90, 100 days, 120 days. And maybe they get in halfway. Do you see what I mean? Anyway. Mark says, I'm in and out. I've saved wins from last October. XRP Ledger killed it for me. I'm waiting to get long and adjust to whatever happens. Whatever happens. What do you say? Sorry. I live in the charts. Great. I mean, and at the end of the day, Mark, you can only live by what you believe, you know? At the end of the day, if you're going to go out on your own sword, right? Not what somebody says. And at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, and you win, you won. You lose, you lost. And that's the way to do it, you know? People who spend their time blaming other people, not taking responsibility for their wins and losses, they don't make it far. You know, you can't really do anything like that. It's disempowering. We could go harder, Mark says. Anyone thinks as the DXY dumps. Absolutely. Amazing videos of the world says, yes, you're right. Mark says Monero. Monero's a big deal, yeah. Okay, amazing videos of the world asking for MFT again. We're going to get into that, bro. Yeah, we do have time. Don't worry about it. Mark says the volume is showing some bearish deviation on the 15-minute time frame. Akansha says, what's in your portfolio for long term or just trading BTC and alts? My watch list, Akansha, is my portfolio. And I'm going to show you that in a second. Amazing videos of the world says, hold and sell. I'm not comfortable on daily trading. Mark says, I am at the point now making long bags of about 4 projects and working some DeFi, and I trade. The next months will be small scalps and adding to long bags on dips. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I have some I have one position that's just for expenses because this is my full time job, you know, and I have no other source of income, just my trading, right? Not like YouTube, not like affiliate this, affiliate that. It's just trading, pure trading income. If I don't win my trades, I don't eat, you know, I'm homeless. So I do have a position that's short term that I'm going to be selling at crucial resistance just to pay bills. So yeah, everybody's strategy going to be different. Uh, and so yeah, let's go. All right, those are the comments. Let's get back into it. And yeah, as Mark said, if you look at the DXY, I mean, that was a major rejection. And this is likely going to be a continuation to the downside. And this, as Mark said, is a precursor for what's likely coming next. You know, the underlying asset for 60% of the monetary systems of the world is the dollar, right? And so if that is the underlying asset, by definition, when it loses value, whatever it's trading up against, be it Bitcoin or stocks or whatever other risk on asset, those are going to be higher in perceived value. That's what moves the market. Okay, small time frame. Answer to Akanksha's question. This active trades watch list. These are the assets I'm currently trading. Okay, Bitcoin, Polkadot, Cardano, Reserve Rights, Dodo, Ethereum, Zilliqa, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Synthetics, Algorand, BNB, and XRP. Okay, there are reasons I've chosen these assets. Um, I don't. I feel like I take enough risk in the charts. Um, I don't need to take a ton of risk by trading something like Luna Classic or something like that. You know what I mean? Like all of these, in my estimation, are fundamentally sound. They're not going to disappear overnight. Um, they're not blockchains that like stop on a at any moment's notice. Like that's why I don't trade Solana, because even way before the FTX debacle, like any blockchain that literally stops because something's wrong is not a blockchain. So like I mean fundamentally there's something really really wrong there. So I said that on this channel as well. Like I would never trade something like that. It's just too much risk. I have enough trouble managing risk trading the charts, right? Why would I add a fundamental risk? Okay, anyway, we're on the hourly time frame. Let's go down the list. Let's add MFT here for amazing videos of the world so that we don't forget that. And let's just go down real quick. Then we'll wrap up. We'll just do some small time frame analysis. Okay, so on the small time frame, this is what I'm seeing, right? The pattern analysis is the same as yesterday. I'm seeing this wedge, right? And we broke out of the wedge. And now we retested. It doesn't look like we retested the wedge, but we did retest major resistance. As support, okay? And that major resistance as support is this level right here. It's a horizontal level. It's confusing sometimes because sometimes when you break these wedges, you think that you're going to have to come all the way back down to the sloped resistance to do the retest. But sometimes there is a resistance that's horizontal that you retest as support, and I think that's this case right here. And so I'm seeing that on Bitcoin on the small time frame, this hourly time frame. I measured this out as a 1, 2, 3. I like that as a wave 3 because it's literally 161.8% of that wave 1. So that's a probable count for me, a highly probable count for me. And this is to me a wave 4. I think it's a likely wave 4. As I said yesterday, a WXY, a double 3, and what you're seeing here is a consolidation reversal, and that's all we've been in. We've just been sideways because we've been in consolidation reversal as part of this larger complex correction, this WXY. And then once you break this, Your minimum target, I say minimum, is going to be the height of this, okay? But wouldn't be surprised if you just kept going, okay? Because this is really the precursor or the catalyst for a lot, um, a lot larger, a lot stronger, or what's the word I'm looking for? A lot bigger price action to the upside. Again, I know I don't know just how. I can't wrap my mind around the kind of candles you put in and how they matriculate up to make higher highs. Even going to 50K, I don't know what that would look like. But as an analyst, I want to keep the known unknowns to the side because they don't help me. You see what I mean? Like, I'm just worried or concerned with my entries, okay, and protecting the downside of my entries. Some of my entries are with higher leverage, so I'm protecting for downside, looking for that. Otherwise, the upside takes care of itself. I used to really try to figure everything out and try to know everything. You're not gonna know everything, and that's okay. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is my small time frame analysis on Bitcoin for the hourly time frame. Okay, moving on. Polkadot is also something that was in a falling wedge, as you can see, and just like, just as TA 101, you break the falling wedge, you retest it as support, and then you break out. That's exactly what happened. Okay, if you were to use Elliott wave analysis, I believe that this is I believe it's a wave 1, wave 2 situation. Let's just see real quick. I'm just gonna measure the time. It's about a day way up. Day and 12 hours. Nah. Okay, then because wave 1 and 2 don't seem to be comparable in terms of time, I think this is a zigzag, okay? An A, B, C situation, okay? So this is your first wave of Polkadot's bull market right there, I believe, okay? So that's what I'm seeing right there on the small time frames. And you're essentially just putting in wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then you're going to put in a wave 5 probably up here somewhere. And then you do your 3-wave retracement, and then you keep going up, okay? So that's Polkadot on the small time frame. But again, just larger scheme of things, you broke this to the upside, huge deal, because if you go on the higher time frames, you can see this is your bear market lows, quite literally. Bear market lows, yeah? Okay, moving on. Cardano, I entered, I have a couple positions of Cardano, one of which is my bill paying, what would I call it? My expenses, daily expenses trade. Okay, so this is a trade I'm monitoring quite closely. High leverage, low amount of capital, so I'm just protecting for downside. And I believe, just like in Polkadot and Bitcoin, you broke out of this descending wedge, which is at the bear market bottom, and you put in, like Polkadot, I think this is an A wave, a B wave, and now you're putting in a C wave, which is going to be your first impulse of the bull market for Cardano. Okay, that's what I think is going on. It's hard to read this, this is a bunch of chop, it looks like. It's both corrective and impulsive, but that's why in this situation, I'm more reliant on support and resistance using this wedge, okay? I think this is the more simple way. I love, when you can keep it simple, right? Occam's razor, don't try to overcomplicate things. There's no point. So I think eventually what you're going to get is that move up like this, and then you're going to retrace there, then you're going to keep going, okay? On the even smaller time frames, because this is a high leverage position that I'm protecting the downside, I think you're going to get on the small time frame another move down like that. Okay, I would not be surprised if that happens. Because for me, this is part of a pivot. This is an A wave. I think this is a B wave. It's gonna come like this, and then you're gonna get your impulse. So I think I'm getting that, and I'm expecting that personally, right? My invalidation or my stops, my liquidations are down here somewhere, but I am expecting a small move down. But I'm going to be monitoring this, as I said, because this is like what I'm using to pay mortgage this month or next month. Okay, moving on. Let's go back on the higher time frame. Young Dasa says, "Can you check out Zcash, Dean? Thank you, brother. No problem." Amazing videos of the world says your altcoin chart on higher time frame. What analysis on it? What do you say about Binance? Binance is cool. Binance I don't use because I'm American. Binance US is a bit limited. I just use KuCoin, Femex, Coinbase, but mostly KuCoin and Femex. But Binance is good. But still, again, if you're trading spot, like, just put it on a ledger. Put it on some sort of cold storage device. Not that difficult. You just want to be cautious. And Amazing Videos of the World says Dentcoin is a top telecommunications coin which makes contract with Starlink and with otherwise country to provide worldwide internet and ESM service nonstop. Oh yeah, I looked into Dentcoin because of your always asking for it, and I think it's a really cool project. And I did actually get in a position, but I think I sold it because I needed capital to protect another position. But I think it's a really nice project, and I really like it. I really like the fundamentals of Dentcoin. Okay, reserve rights. Same thing. Falling wedge, broke out of the falling wedge. I think here the breakout's quite clear. Is it? Sorry, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think this is a B, C situation. Okay, it's a little more confusing because this B wave is kind of weird looking, but I think this is a B wave right here. 1, 2, 3, and then this is some sort of double 3, really gnarly looking B wave, but it's a B wave nonetheless. And then you have your 5 waves, your 5-wave impulse down here. Okay, and then a consolidation reversal for the second or the last part of this corrective move. It's a zigzag. That's what I see with reserve rights. Dodo. I don't like this. I put in these time markers because I'm like, oh, that's wave 1, wave 2. No. It's more than likely what we've seen, throughout the market. This is an A wave. This is a B wave. You're getting ready for a C wave. I think that's the simplest explanation right there. Okay. So that's what I see. I see all of these, maybe some short-term downside, just really little, not breaking structural support though. I see them going up. But yeah, in all of these cases, were you to trade this, right? If this is indeed a zigzag, you want to watch for that 0.618 because that is what needs to be maintained for it to be a legitimate zigzag, and most of them are respecting the 0.618. Same with my Cardano. The 0.618 is respected, I believe. Yeah, let's see. If we take take it from here down here. Yeah, you see 0.618. So I would just hide everything below the phi ratio. That's just what I would do. Okay, not financial advice. Gotta do your own research and do what you think is best. Dodo. I think we just looked at Dodo. No, we just looked at reserve rights. Yeah. Is this a flat or zigzag? Yeah, it's still a zigzag. Zigzag. Same thing. Yeah. Same thing. 5, 3, 5. Boom. Yeah, let's keep it simple. That's essentially what it is. And what's going on now? Some consolidation, because every single time you go from one mode, so impulsive, corrective, you got to put in that AB basing to switch modes. That's what I think is happening now. Ethereum. I think Ethereum is a little ahead. Look at this. Exactly what we've been looking at. Boom. Do you see that? So Ethereum also did what everything else did. It was in a wedge. It broke the wedge, retested it as support. Okay, broke the resistance, retested it as support with the 3-wave move. That's your B wave. Okay, this is a zigzag, A, B, C zigzag, right? The B wave respects the 0.618 of the A wave, and then your final move is a nice 5-wave move. Okay, and I believe Ethereum has put that in, and what it's doing now is something like this before continuing. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum came down a little to this level right here, which is a clear level for me. It's, again, this is the same thing over and over. Like, keep it simple. Like, technical analysis, I have this written down in one of my notes. I have 100 different aphorisms, like, after I lose a trade, after I win a trade, or just an observation. Sometimes, like earlier in my career, I'd write stuff down. I remember very clearly one of the things I wrote down is, this shit's actually simple. It's really simple. It's just the emotions, the ups and downs, the, staying up and watching a position because you're afraid of getting stopped. All that stuff makes it complicated because you're really caught up, right? It's the emotionality of it, which is normal. It's expected. Because it's a high stakes thing, especially if you need to win to because earn a living or something like that, or you have a big position, right? But essentially, what is this? This is a clear level right here, right? You can see that it's a clear level. You broke it. Maybe you keep going up, but eventually, not surprised if you come back down to retest this as support. Okay, maybe you retest it here. I'm not exactly sure. I would have to go in a smaller time frame and do a little more analysis, but I wouldn't be surprised if I wanted to protect against downside that we come back down to 12.15. That level looks likely retest. Looks like a likely retest for me. Okay. Zilliqa. Okay, I didn't draw a wedge for this, but you can kind of see the same thing. Okay, you can kind of see a 5-wave move, a 3-wave move, respecting the 0.618 of that previous 5-wave move, then another 5-wave move forming. It hasn't broken yet, but it's likely to. Okay, that's what I'm seeing in Zilliqa. Dogecoin. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is one of those. Okay, so Ethereum's a little bit ahead, but Dogecoin's a lot a bit ahead. Litecoin's a lot a bit ahead. Okay, what do I mean by that? This here to show you what I mean by that, I'd have to go on the higher time frame. So this is the daily time frame for Dogecoin. as you can see, it is basically, actually I wouldn't do that. I would do this. This was the bear market accumulation for Dogecoin, right? The bear market accumulation, meaning all the drawdown was accumulated and absorbed in this region as of the 26th, late October. Okay, that was months ago already. It left this range spectacularly. Okay, it left this range. Boom, 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 boom. Came back to retest it as support. And so that's what you saw right here. Dogecoin's ahead of a lot of assets in the market because its bear market, its bull market started back here. Right? You can say that this was a corrective move because the retracement was more than 0.618, and I do believe that. But still, it left these levels, right, effectively leaving the bear market lows all the way back in October, okay? Retested this level, and I think it went up to put, now let's go in the smaller time frame. Back to the hourly. Okay, so I think it's clear, and one of the reasons I have these time demarcations is just to prove to myself that this is a probable wave 1, wave 2 situation. You can count 5 waves here, you can count 3 waves here. The 3 waves are between 382 and 618 of these 5 waves, okay? So comparable in time, comparable in price and comparable in time. 5 days and 2 hours to go up, 4 days and 15 hours to go sideways, to come down in 3 waves. So I like this as the first impulse of Dogecoin's bull market. Why do I not say that the October 26th run up was an impulse? Because the retracement was beyond 0.618. Okay, so technically I would count this as the first impulse, and this is completing. So I think one of the bigger movers in this next move is going to be Dogecoin, okay? Because it's already going into wave 3, in my estimation. Okay, so that's Dogecoin. Litecoin as well. I've already shown you this chart many times on the higher time frame. It's left the bull market, or the bear market accumulation, sorry. And I would not be surprised if this was a wave 4. Right here. I would not be surprised if this was a wave 1, wave, yeah. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then you're going in for, maybe wave 4 goes like this, and then you're going for wave 5. Wouldn't be surprised if that were the case for for Litecoin. Not exactly sure, but what is highly probable is that the next move is up. Okay, because if you zoom out just a second and go on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see exactly what's going on, right? You don't always have to have a perfect Elliott wave count to know what's going on. A lot of times, that's not even that important, because one of the first questions you want to answer is it going up or down, right? Like, people really try to overcomplicate this. It's a WXYXZ triple three. Like, is it going up or down? Okay, what's it doing? Is it consolidating? Is it an intra-wave consolidation? Is it consolidating to go down? Is it consolidating to go up? Is it going sideways for the next year? What the hell is it doing? Okay, look at the support and resistance. This, as I showed you many times on this channel, is a bear market accumulation. You came down and you accumulated for over 150 days in this channel. Then you leave it. And I believe, like I told you, this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Maybe this is part of wave 4. I don't know. But it looks like you're continuing, not just because of your Elliott wave count, but also because this level was your high. And let me erase this so you can see what I'm talking about. In Litecoin, you're making a higher high. Do you see? You broke this previous high and you came back to retest it. If you don't see what I'm talking about, let me not be lazy and pull out an actual line. That's not what I want. Let's try it again. Right there. Okay? So you see what I mean? Support and resistance. Keep it simple. When in doubt, keep it simple. Don't worry about all the minutia and wave counts and stuff like that. Like, you want to drill down. Once you get the general sense of what you think is likely going on, then you can drill down and say, okay, I think I know what's going on here. I think I know when this is going to break out using time analysis, all that stuff. But that's not that important if you don't know if it's going up or down. So I think right here, you basically just made a higher high, retested this. What do you think happens next? I believe that you go up, and you may go up significantly from here, because if this is true, this is one large inverse head and shoulders, right? Where the target would be the height of this whole structure superimposed from the site of breakout, which would be this neckline right here. Okay, so that's what I think is going on with Litecoin on the smaller time frame. Synthetics, I showed you this. It's a lot of what is going on in the rest of the market. And again, I really like when I'm looking at disparate assets, right? Different assets up and down my watch list, and I'm seeing shades of the same patterns. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I see a zigzag. Well, I don't see a zigzag here. I see a A-B flat correction, okay? And then a breakout of that. And I think I've got time here because I'm trying to tell myself I see a wave 1, wave 2 situation. And that's also likely, but it's also likely that after this flat correction, this is a zigzag. Yeah? I would say in this frame of mind that I'm in right now, it's more likely than not a zigzag rather than an actual impulse. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. Gun to my head, I would say it's more a corrective move up going into impulse rather than an impulsive move right here. But at the end of the day, all intents and purposes, you're going up, which is that's the important part of the analysis, right? You're going up, and what's your downside risk? If it is indeed a zigzag, then your downside is going to be the 0.618 of this 5-wave move. So that's it. Keep it simple. Here, Algorand, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Okay, it could be a zigzag, could be a wave 1, wave 2 situation. It doesn't really matter, and I don't really care. But I am seeing, again, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. I need another 5 waves up. And that looks good. That looks very likely because you have all of this. You're at a neckline. You're obviously looking to break this to the upside, okay? So that's Algorand. Binance Coin. This is, it just looks weird. Let me go on the 4-hourly time frame. It looks weird. And if I measure it, I think the issue with it is the retracement isn't. It didn't even hit the 0.5. So the retracement is shallow. You know what I mean? because a minimum retracement for a zigzag is 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So, okay, I think I've encountered this issue before. I do believe that your next move on the smaller time frame, okay, is down. You're going to fulfill that minimum retracement level. And this will prove to be a 5-wave up, 3-wave down, 5-wave up situation. Okay? But in the immediate short term, I'm expecting a bit of a dip. Okay, again, if I'm protecting for downside, I'm going to use my Fibonacci retracement level of these 5 waves. Let's see. Yep, of these 5 waves. And I'm going to use the 0618 Fibonacci retracement level and understand that just experience has shown me that I can wick up until 50% between that 0618 and that 0786 and still hold that 0618. So I would hide my stops below the 50% level of that band, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. My Fibonacci, or sorry, my momentum indicator is also telling me something similar. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with Binance Coin on the small time frame. XRP. Okay, that just jumps out at me. 5 waves. Okay, this is not a 1-2 situation, or I don't think it is. I did clearly in the past. Let's see. If I put that in, I'm trying to tell myself I think this is a wave 1, wave 2 situation. That's how I talk to myself on these charts. 1 day 8 hours up. 1 day 22. Yeah. No. Okay, I think this is not it. This also is 5 waves up, 3 waves down. I think you're coming down a little more right here. I think this is a wave 4. What you see here, wave 4. It's going to be wave 5 coming down just a little bit to complete that B wave. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's what I see with XRP. So I think you're coming down just a bit. But once again, you're probably going to respect that 0618 Fibonacci retracement level of this larger A wave. Bitcoin. All right, yeah, we already talked about it. So yeah, I guess to wrap up this watch list, I do see a little bit of downwards price action to finish out these AB bases on the smaller time frames, or these these impulses on the smaller time frames before another move up, just a little bit on the smaller time frames. Okay, now let's have a look at our friends coins. We got MFT, and let's start with MFT, and then we're gonna go into Zcash, and then we're gonna call it a stream. Okay, so MFT, Amazing Videos of the World asks for every time frame known to man. You know what pisses me off? I'm just gonna say this real quick. I'm watching, because I watch colleagues, I try to learn from everybody, even sometimes you learn from people's mistakes. But I listen to BitBoy Crypto, and they have in-house technical analysis by Frankie Candles, and he talks about the 16-hour time frame and the 3-hour, like random fucking, like the 11-hour time frame. It's like, bro, like, I know this is a market cipher thing, crypto face is quirky, but I seriously don't get it. And I get the fact that it's kind of arbitrary that we talk about a 4-hourly time frame and an hourly time frame. You know, why not a 2-hour time frame? Why not a 9-hour time frame? But like, who actually trades the 9-hour and the 7-hour and just random shit like that? That's weird to me. But yeah, amazing videos of the world. I'm just going to do a cursory analysis because that's all time will permit right now. I gotta actually zoom out because I don't even know. I don't have my bearings here. I just need to go on the daily just because I need to make sense of what the hell I'm looking at. Okay, this is quite clear to me. On the daily time frame, this to me looks like a 5-wave up, 3-wave down situation. And you could expect another 5 waves up. I think that's the analysis, right? I think that's quite simple, right? Everything is satisfied. You know, you can count 5 waves clearly. If you take the bottom of this 5-wave sequence all the way to the top, you can see that this B wave, which would be the bear market, right, for this asset, has basically just been a series of undulations to the downside. I think you finished on May 12th, just like everything else. It's amazing how everything's kind of in sync. So you did this probably W X Y X Z. This 333 was ended May 12th, and then from there, and so with that you hit your minimum retracement for a zigzag, which is the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, and then you started doing your AB basing. A wave, B wave, A wave, B wave, that's your second degree. Pivot. I think you started. Okay, now we're going to go into smaller time frames. Now I have my bearings. I think here it's likely, very likely, that this is the first impulse of the bull market for this asset. So, yeah. I think the safe trade for this is likely. Okay, I don't know if it's 100%, but likely is that you hide every stop, every liquidation point below the 0.618 of any advance. But then again, this is a really volatile asset, and you know that because there are big wicks, big wicks, big wicks all around. So you just want to be careful. It looks like you don't have the highest liquidity, but I think you're pretty much at the bottom, and you can expect 5 waves to the upside in a high time frame. That's my read on MFT. Okay. Zcash. Zcash. Okay, look, I have a count here. So I thought I knew what was going on. Okay. Okay, this screams to me like an impulse, okay? This moves like an impulse, this looks like an impulse. Everything about this is impulsive. I would not be surprised if this impulse is finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're getting an ABC correction. And your wave 2 comes down like that for Zcash. Would not be surprised if that were the case. Remember, minimum retracement for that wave 2 correction is going to be 382. I'm going to move this up a little bit because things are telling me the way this, if this is indeed a B wave, this is going to be a running flat. And it's probably just going to touch the 382, if that, before continuing into wave 3 and breaking that bear market resistance, which is designated by this dotted line. So this is what I'm seeing on this chart. I'm still seeing that we're in impulse. Okay, obviously, you don't know. Maybe this continues to go and you put in an extended wave 1. That's also possible. But I think the analysis here is such that it's likely that you're in impulse. So I would trade it and treat it as such. I would not be surprised with any moves to the upside, and then any corrections, are intra-wave. It's just normal, intra-wave corrections, some minimal downside, and then once you break this resistance, you retest it as support. I think that's also a very likely move, because again, this is the resistance that you've been holding since May, right? Since the beginning of your sideways accumulation. So if you broke that, you would have to retest it, very likely. Okay, so that's my look on Zcash, guys. It's 3:00. Gotta get ready to get my son. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you tomorrow for the Saturday quick hit. Thanks for joining. Take care. Have a great weekend. And yeah, stay safe. Bye.